She was 42. She had loved to paint since childhood, not the kind of person who once saw a beautiful picture and thought, I want to be an artist. She had always painted, in school notebooks, in document margins, on weekends, after work, sometimes at night when the children finally fell asleep. Let's call her Oksana. For 12 years, she worked in a position that supported her family. The work wasn't awful, it just wasn't hers. And with every passing year, she caught herself thinking, I am not living my own life. One day she decided. She quit. She told her husband, I can't keep putting this off. She told her daughter, I'm finally going to do what I love. And she said the same thing to herself. The first weeks felt like fresh air after a long time indoors. Coffee, an open window, the easel. She thought, this is when real life finally begins. She posted her work online. People wrote back, beautiful, so talented, finally. The likes were there, the warm words were there, but orders almost never came. And slowly, the things she loved began to fill with anxiety. 3 years later, Oksana went back to a regular job. Not because she had stopped loving to paint. She loved it just as much, maybe more. But something in the formula hadn't worked. Oksana is not an exception. She is, if anything, the rule. Today, about why. Because do what you love and the money will follow is something almost everyone has heard. There is truth in it, but there is also a gap, one that can cost a great deal. It answers only one question: what do you want? It almost never answers the second: does anyone need it? A few years ago, scientists studied centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond. They expected to find something about lifestyle, diet, genetics. Instead, they found something else, in psychology, in how a person builds their relationship with their own life. They found 3 traits. The first, meaning. Not necessarily grand or loud, something worth getting up for in the morning. The second, optimism. Not naive. The ability to see a way forward even when circumstances are against you. The third, resilience. How a person gets back up after a fall. Notice what isn't on that list. Passion isn't there. Doing what you love isn't there. What is there is meaning. And meaning is not the same as passion. Passion is what you love, what absorbs you, sets your eyes alight, makes you lose track of time. Meaning is when your fire becomes useful to someone else. Passion is about you. Meaning is about the connection between you and others. A person living only on passion depends on their state of mind, burning today, exhausted tomorrow. A person who has found meaning keeps going even without inspiration, because someone is waiting, because without them, things will be worse. Passion looks for expression. Calling looks for a recipient. These are different movements. This is where do what you love needs a continuation. The full version goes like this. Do what you love. Without it, there's no aliveness, no inner fuel, no fire to carry you through fatigue and failure. Love for your work isn't optional. It's the fuel. Add the second, where you solve a real problem. Not an imagined one, a specific pain for specific people right now. And the third, where you can be a contribution, not just a participant. Someone who brings something that wouldn't exist without them. The intersection of all 3 is no guarantee of money, but it is the formula for meaning. And meaning is one of 3 things that keeps people alive. Hit like if this is landing for you. It helps the channel reach the people who need it right now. The most common trap looks like this. A person confuses "I love this" with "someone needs this." But there is a subtler trap, loving not the work itself, but the image of yourself doing it. The image of the artist, the entrepreneur, the person who finally left the office and became free. One man had dreamed of his own business for years. When he finally took the step, the first thing he did was rent a beautiful office, buy furniture, hire an assistant. The business didn't exist yet, because the central question was missing: whose problem am I solving? He knew what he wanted to look like as an entrepreneur. He had very little idea who needed him. Same story as Oksana's, just in different clothes. An image warms only us. Work begins where our contribution makes someone else's life better. 3 questions worth asking yourself. Not once, regularly, honestly, not for a polished answer. First, what do I love enough to keep doing when it's hard? Not what inspires me today, but what I return to again and again, without applause, without results, when no one is watching. Not an impulse, a habit of the heart.
Second, whose pain does this ease?
A living response is a trail you can follow. If you never ask this question, you will never find the answer. It isn't found by accident, only when you start looking. Sometimes the clue is in the past. When did people come to me for help? And for what? What did I explain easily while they said, "You explain this like no one else"? Third, where can I be a contribution, not just a participant? There's a difference between I complete a task and I bring something that wouldn't have existed without me. The first is a job. The second is a place, a direction where you become needed. The intersection of those 3 isn't found right away. Sometimes it takes attempts, mistakes, years. But for those who find it, something changes. Not just in their work, in how life feels. One last thing, without which this conversation would be incomplete. There is a word that has almost fallen out of use: calling. We often confuse it with passion, but that's not right. Passion is what you love. Calling is when what you love turns out to be needed by someone else. If a person is made in the image of a creator, one who created not for himself, but for another, then perhaps the deepest fulfillment of a person works in a similar way. Not inward, but towards someone. A gift used only for yourself is not yet fully opened. Like a seed held in the palm, alive, real, but not yet planted. It becomes real when it is given. Not in the sense of sacrifice, in the sense of meeting. Here is what I have been given. Here is who it can serve. A person who has found that point doesn't need motivation. They simply go. Not because they are certain, but because they are needed. Back to Oksana. She didn't stop painting, but eventually she asked a question she had rarely asked before. Who needs what I can do? The answer didn't come from where she expected. Her recipients weren't collectors. They were adults, 40, 50, sometimes 60. People who had once painted, sung, sculpted, and then became serious people. Ashamed to start over. Ashamed not to know. Ashamed to look like a child. Oksana began holding small classes, not for those who wanted to become great artists, for those who needed permission to begin clumsily. No grades, no right answers, just paper, a brush, and someone saying, "It's okay not to know. Just start." She still paints. She still does what she loves, but now her love is needed by someone. After class, people say, "I haven't drawn since I was a child. I thought it was too late. Thank you. I feel like I remembered something." Those were the people she was waiting for. She just didn't know it yet. Do what you love is true, just not the whole truth. The whole truth. Find where what you love becomes needed. That is where passion grows into meaning. And meaning is one of 3 things that keeps a person alive. If this conversation resonated, hit like. It helps the channel reach those who need this kind of conversation. Write in the comments, what have you loved for a long time, and who might need it? One line. Subscribe if this format speaks to you. Honest, quiet, no noise, and no easy promises. And if you thought of someone who keeps circling this question, send it to them, just as a thought. Take care of what is alive in you, and find who your fire can become a light for. See you next time.